Hi everyone, it's me, Stormy here. And as my name says, I have to do with storms or weather, you know. And yes, I'm a weather worker. And you would think that that would mean that I would get ONLOOK. I would say yes and no. You know, when it comes to weather, I guess that includes good weather and bad weather. Now, some folks are going to say there's things called land catastrophes, which I guess are weather, but they're not weather. So, first off, yes, I have been making it rain, but then again, I make it rain all year round, you know. So, but I'm not the one who's truly doing it. It's God that's doing it, and I only work in his behalf to do it. You know, I get on top of the cloud and start stepping down on it, and there goes your rain. Well, I guess there goes your snow too, if you happen to be in the other half of the world that's going into fall and winter now. Um, and then that includes your lightning and your thunder, which, yeah. So a lot of folks always ask me and they go, well, Stormy, where did you come from? Well, I really first show up in Rainbow Bright and a Star Stealer, 9 between 85 YL, and I was also in the first following of Rainbow Bright, even though I did not really say or do a whole lot, you know. And need be a lot of folks out there just didn't know, what sagas to come up with. But anyway, yeah, as a weather worker, I do get ONLOOK from folks who are happy when they get rain. They're like, well, yeah, because rain is needed for trees to grow, you know. Rain also is a good thing. But then folks ask about snow during, late fall and even we'll say late winter because it doesn't really ever snow in the beginning of winter. Unless it does. It's very rare, but it's been known to do whatever. So if folks ask about snow, is there any good things that come out of snow? Yes, I would say it does, because that snow is water, and when that water melts, well, it goes into the ground. So, yes, there is good when it comes to snow. Now, some folks are going to say, well, Stormy, how can you. So, are you the ones behind the catastrophes? What? The Earth catastrophes? No. I make stormy weather, which is true, but but I'm not behind Earth catastrophes. And first off, a fire, which I don't really know if you can say that's weather or not, or isn't a wildfire. You can't call that weather. You call it a catastrophe. It's not really weather. And an earthquake isn't weather. The only and when a fire hail blows up, that's not really weather either. The only two things that are weather that are also known as Earth catastrophes that sadly Lucifer likes to do is twisters and gales. Yes, those are weather. Bad weather, but they're weather. Also, they happen to fall into Earth catastrophes as well. Wind is also weather. Wind storms are also weather as well. And so is rain, and well, even sun, that's weather as well. So a lot of folks would ask me before end my film, how did you become a weather worker? Well, I could say that Hallmark never came up with that saga of how I became a weather worker. And Deke back in the day didn't really come up with any back saga for why I became a weather worker, so your guess is good as mine. But let's just say that one day God needed a weather worker and chose me to be that weather worker, and that I chose to be the weather worker. I was entrusted to oversee the weather. So no, I'm not a cast kid or a cast worker. A lot of folks tend to, mistaken me for a cast worker or a cast kid or whatever you want to call it. And I'm not. So I do want to say that once again, I'm sorry for the rain. If anyone didn't like the rain, sorry about that. But it had to be done. Now, some folks out there are going to say that you like to do winter. Well, I do weather. And that includes whatever time of year you happen to be in. Spring, summer, fall, and winter has weather comes along with it. So yes, I do weather for that. And some folks say, then why do you still get cold in spring? Well, it doesn't get as cold as it would during fall and winter, put it that way. I don't know, because God doesn't have the sun and the earth. The sun and the earth are still not really near to each other yet. They're getting there, but they're not fully there yet. You want to know when the sun and the earth fully get near to each other? Oh, yeah, by summer. Yeah, but the 6th month is when God truly has the sun and the earth next to each other. So that's why spring is has offshoots between being warm and cold. Well, anyway, I just want to say, thank you for watching this film. Give it a like, share it, playlist it, and tell me, do you ONLOOK me for being a weather worker? I hope you say yes.